Well, good evening, eagles and golden eagles. What did he say? There is a new rank in town called gold eagles, golden eagles. This is pretty much for the golden eagles as well as eagles to be golden. Oh, and we wonder how we get into talking like that. It to me made a lot of sense, probably a little confusing to some. It's because we live. I was just sitting here thinking, we live in a world that is completely gone wild. You'd think someone would see something on their YouTube with something like this going on. Nope. That doesn't mean that you're surfing porn. That means that that's what the norm is happening. I saw something a while ago where girls are wearing those garter belt looking things with hot pants to school. And they'll file a lawsuit against you. And oh gosh, everything's going crazy, absolutely crazy. And everybody knows that what I proclaim is this is the culprit. Probably get a commercial here, probably, but
Cancer,
what did I tell you? Gotta listen to this little promo from Big Pharma. Oh my God!
In 1910,
this guy, I was watching this last night.
Map of where we're going.
Anyway.
From the time we are children, we are curious about the world and eager to learn about the way it works. And what could lead to a better understanding of the way the world works than a knowledge of money, its creation and destruction? Yet discussion of this topic is fastidiously avoided in our school years and ignored in our daily life.
You know, I can sit here and this is the enemy. This is the enemy within, right here. There isn't really any reason to go any further. I don't care what kind of radio you got. I'm just telling you straight up. This right here. This is the enemy, people. Golden eagles. This is the enemy. This is the enemy. That's the dream stealer right there. As she smiles, entering the matrix. You don't think this whole world's gone crazy? Look at this. Hillary she hides. State hides Hillary's skid. That's the schedule. Until after the election. Have you ever heard of such a thing that's going on out there? In the Justice Department, what? I mean, things are really weird. And that's why people are all looking like this right here. Over here on all this crazy stuff going on, for crying out loud. Let's see what else we got. That's what the deal is right there. This is Keaton. God, no. Look at this stuff. Got radios all up in there. Oh God, did y'all see this? Hopefully it shows. Little Photoshop.
Interrupted her coughing fits, seizures, and 3-day naps to attack the alt-right. Clinton savaged Trump for weaving
dark conspiracy theories.
Oh, you mean dark conspiracy theories like a YouTube video being responsible for Benghazi?
What difference at this point does it make?
She...
Oh my goodness gracious. Golden eagles. I'll try to make this short. Uh-oh. What is this? Cancel. Hopefully y'all are still going. Anyway, don't ever click on this thing. It is a Trojan. You just got some value out of this right there. Don't click on those if you got Foxfire. They're not from Foxfire. How do you know? I know. Trust me. And then we have Clyde Lewis and the things I talk about. But I was just what spurred this call this evening. A couple things. I was sitting here listening to this, and this is on the 25th, hour 3. If you're an insider, Coast to Coast insider, I'm watching what he's doing, and we're fixed to be the Golden Eagles. We're going to be doing something awfully wild. I'm talking about awfully wild. Radios are involved. They are the well, they're the wrapper, but there's more wrapper to go in it. Matter of fact, I think the gift inside is that's when if the gift inside is better than the wrapper, the value is really there. And there's nothing more that people really are looking for is how do you know who's telling the truth? How do you know who's telling the truth? That's the bottom line. All this stuff we've tried to wrap up here with the smiling faces over here at Radio Daisy Chain, and this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're really dealing with, and it's being backed up that we're not crazy because people are sharing the truth, and it's awfully weird. I'm talking about straight up weird. The truth of what has happened here. And yeah, that's why I say, and not jokingly, but it sounds like jokingly, you better get a radio and learn how to use it. I'm not kidding you, period. No matter what happens, you never listen to another one of these things or hear me talk again, you need a radio. You need to know how to use it, and you need to find somebody around you that has one of them things so you can find out at least what's going on down the road or something like that. But there's even more. I mean, this is all happening to me at a very, very strange time in my life. I mean, I'm telling you right up front, a lot of things are coming together, vortexing right now in my world. And I have never been more passion driven to bring out a message that is so simple. So simple, but it is the answer. It's the answer to the situation that we're in, or it is the answer for all of those that we could get to as fast as we could get to, and yes, they'll have a radio too. Now, I get great value out of listening to Clyde. I get great value out of listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church. A lot of value out of Coast to Coast. Let's see what they're going to talk about tonight. Marines and E.T. Last night they were talking about the Zika deal, which might want to tune into this one here. And here's what's crazy. I think these people are doing this stuff. Or I'm starting to really think these people are doing this stuff to us. I can tell you one thing for certain, that fractional banking is real. I live next door to a banker. Or fixing to not live next door to him. That's the other thing. I'm moving. We've got a break in the weather, and I've squeezed in a few hours here and a few hours there, way overdue. I mean, my timeline is skewed. But I'll be deep into it tomorrow. Now, Golden Eagles, y'all know that I am waiting on the Eagle to land here. Some of y'all might not even be doing the Facebook thing. That's why I'm doing the regular email deal through GoDaddy. So hopefully Golden Eagles that I've already spoken to about a lot of stuff that we're fixing to do. You need to get in touch with me and email me and put Golden Eagle on there. You don't have to. I know who you are. You don't really have to do that. I just need to hear from you so you can get some other means of connection here. It may be as long as 7 to 10 days before I get a hard line, which doesn't stop us, but I'll be doing everything from a cell phone until that hard line gets in where I can stick the receiver back up to my ear when we're doing conference calls. Which brings up another point, is that tomorrow evening, consider this your conference call. It is pretty much turned into Eagles and now the new formed Golden Eagles as a call. So this is pretty much, if you're already, I would strongly suggest at all Eagles that you subscribe to the channel that you're now watching. It's a YouTube channel. Just hit the red button or whatever it does and subscribe to it. we're fixing to be getting in the future here Facebook presence, and real Facebook presence, not just some little page deal, but it's going to be created, and the rest of all that social media business. Don't really like it and won't mess with it too much, but it will be being done for us. But everybody needs the radio. But that's to me, I've said it many times, that's the wrapper. What I want to know is, how in the world can you tell when someone's telling the truth? Or how do you know how to form your own truth? By gathering the data that's all out there. It's all skewed. Or how do you filter all that? That's the big deal. I believe that when you learn how to go, because believe you me, there's more of it to come. There's going to be a lot of area that you can that will be covered with no telling what ahead of us. There is no telling what we're faced with. How do you rise above that? That would have great value, to be able to have access to a means by which to be able to discern right from wrong, truth from fiction, truth from outright lies. That would give one quite an advantage of being able to make a honest, free thinking thought, coherent thought, or decision based on clean data. We hear a lot of stories out there, and we gather opinions from those stories, like you're probably doing now. But the only way I've really been able to glean something for real is to have it delivered to me in such a way that I know that was unsolicited and it was random. There was no real, and you start getting to where you can hear the person's voice and tell, start being able to see if what their agenda is and be able to filter that. But where I get this information is listening to people calling in on shows. And if you've got a good driver, like the ones I always talk about, and there's hundreds and hundreds more. If you got a good driver, to keep them on track, and we'll make them be honest. And the driver will stand behind what in the past they've talked about. And have rendered an opinion on. And if someone down the roads on call in is saying something contrary to something that might have been said, or the host recognized, and the host calls them down on it and says, whoa, hold on a minute. Then you start getting to where you can form an alliance mentally with these drivers, shepherds. Now, that's all fine and good. But you need, in order for your world to start moving, you need to share your truth. That's it. That's just the way it is. What's the bushel basket deal? You got to share your truth. You got to be eager to share your truth. And when you do, there's a carrot in there for you. What you're seeking, you'll start getting more of. That kind of stuff carries value. It does. But you sure need a radio. And learn how to use it. And make sure there's someone out there that also has a radio that you can reach out to. That makes things, that covers one base right there, and then tag them all together and they've got a bunch of people. But what you need is an ongoing means by which you can render value for what you're doing so that you can sustain life and beyond. Sharing your truth is pretty valuable to some. You might not realize it, but it is. It is to someone like me. Because your truth might be something that I was listening to one of these guys, and you happen to have called in and you shared that truth, which you don't think has much value, but someone like myself might have been looking for validation. And I call them mirrors. So don't think that you don't have value. You do. And so having a place where people come from all over, just like galactic, those bars you see on those space movies where you got lizards and turtles and everything else up at some pub somewhere. Well, people come into this forum that I have, virtual forum, I have a vision in my mind, and they sit down and they start telling their truth. And then someone turns. Now I see that guy with Raiders of the Lost Ark, that kind of thing going on. And that was a truth that he was looking for, a piece of the puzzle. He would have given great value for that. That's a legitimate, bona fide venue that a lot of people like to access. I know I would. And know that people, when they say something, they can validate it, that they heard it on whereverness show. And that people could go over there and listen for themselves and maybe glean something else. I'm telling you, that would be, that right there is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that place just like that I could go and I would pay to get into that. That it was one of them galactic pubs. Kind of picture that, aliens of all different sorts. We're all aliens, And people would come into this forum and they would share. You could even have it down to where the aliens from everywhere, you could have it broken down into categories on certain times. And you wouldn't have any real allegiance to too terribly much. I've got real passion for Phoenix. But you could be a sorcerer. Someone who goes out and finds information, sources it out, brings it to the pub, and shares it. Because knowing that other people's going to see that it has value, and they're going to join the merry little bandwagon and realize that they can actually monetize their life and beyond comfort by basically doing nothing except what they enjoy doing. I'm moving. Golden Eagles, I await the arrival. Get in touch with me via email, Golden Eagles. Put in the subject line, Golden Eagles. I'll know it anyway, but stick it in there. I don't see how many extra Golden Eagles right there. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's all I got for this evening. What a day it has been. What a week it has been. What a week it has been. And what a new week it's going to be. You know that school just started this past week. We've had biblical level storms and I'm supposed to be moving. I am moving. And we're going through this process of finding our level with our mission. And it's coming at literally the most inopportune time if you were to graph like a biorhythm of acquired and stored exchangeable medium in my world. So it's going to be a new day tomorrow. and I look forward to it. That's all I got. This is Jedi 1. We down.